And I'm sorry to put you on the spot like that, but I thought we would be sort of spontaneous or something like that.
Okay.
Awesome. All good. Yeah, yeah.
Just trying some different stuff, you know.
Yeah. You're welcome. All right. The life of a realtor. Take a call at any time of the day or night.
Damn. It's not for the faint of heart.
Nope. Nope. Always on call. Just like on a ship. Always on call.
Always on call.
Do you have your pager? Do you have your pager on?
Yeah, it's called an
Beeper.
iPhone.
Eric, keep your it was a beep. We called it did we call it a beeper or a pager? I don't even remember.
I
Wasn't it a
think back
beeper?
in the 90s it was a beeper. On the ship I think it was a pager. But before I got on the cruise ships fixing computers, they didn't there was no phone number or anything. You just got beeped. I mean that you had to call the office.
Yeah. That was, weirdly, it was really the days before you had to carry a walkie-talkie. I mean, on the later days when I was on Renaissance, I always had a walkie-talkie and I had to carry it everywhere, and it always had to be on.
Oh yeah.
But we had to carry, remember, especially turnaround days, didn't we have walkie-talkies?
Yeah. When we were on duty, like when a stage staff was on duty, I'm sure whoever's on duty has a walkie-talkie
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
someone had to be in contact with you.
Yeah, remember, right on, especially on turnaround days. Like I remember as second crew, I always had a walkie-talkie on, talking to the first purser, like finishing immigration and clearing immigration, and who's missing, and giving him the names over the walkie-talkie. Page this person and that person to come to immigration.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was always a
Remember
deal.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're gonna take a redo.
Oh, I thought we were part of the show. That was it. We were going.
Well, it might be. We can always edit it. Well, I say we. I mean Scott. So here we go. Hey Scott, tell us a little bit about when you joined ships and what you did.
I joined in 1992, the Majesty of the Seas, and I, I started in 1992, March of 1992. Majesty of the Seas. I brought it out from France on the first crossover, my first ship, and had all the A team and whatever. And I actually started as a ballroom dancer, but when I got to France, they decided against that and put me in this stage staff position.
But we're going to hear your whole story next time, right?
Oh my gosh, you tune in for part 1 and 2 of this because it is the most debacling thing ever.
I can tell already we're going to hear too much, but today,
it's all good.
Yeah, today we're going to listen to Eric tell his story about how he joined ships. So, Eric, take it away.
Hey everyone. So this is going to be my ship story of how I got started working on the cruise line. So I went to Florida International University in Miami, and my whole 6 years, yeah, you heard
The
that right.
Fighting Hurricanes. No, not the Fighting.
You'll never guess.
The Fighting Cuban. The
No.
Is that
So
was not the Gators?
Florida International, the Fighting Visa applicants.
So we started out as the Sunblazers and ended up, by the time I graduated, Golden Panthers. Now I think maybe they're just Panthers. I don't know. I can't keep it straight. But I think that in my 6 years, I thought I was going to a party school, because that seems to be what I did most of the time. I did, in between a lot of running, I did a lot of drinking. So it took me a while to get through college. But after I graduated, I was looking for a job. And I started just sending in applications everywhere. And I know that a lot of people are excited about working on ships. And I know that you guys were, especially you, Brad, were really excited and gung-ho about working on a ship, where I was like, there's a job. Let me just apply and see what happens. And I had applied and completely forgotten. Then out of the blue, one Sunday morning, I get a phone call. And at this point, this is like in August, early August, and I'm pretty hungover because it's Sunday. And I get a phone call and says,
Sunday.
hey, of course, Sunday mornings are always hangover. And so I get a call saying, hey, come in. Can you come in for an interview today? And I figured, well, I don't have a job. I'm pretty broke at this point. I owe my roommate money. I owe everybody money. So I figured, okay, so I'll come in. So I went in for this interview down at the pier in Miami, where the corporate office.
Now, what starts is like, hey, what about a cruise ship? Like, where did that thought come from out of your hungover, drunken night stupor?
I never really dreamed or thought about working on a cruise ship. I needed a job. And so this was kind of like, and my life has been a lot like this. It's the path of least resistance. Like, wherever my life takes me, that's where I go. And so that was
as Sun Tzu says, flow like water.
Yeah. That's the way kind of my life, a lot of my life has been. So yeah, I went down. I wasn't really interested there. I saw an ad in the paper, and it was for a computer officer. So I thought, okay. So I went in, and the job was actually an assistant purser, which for people out there that don't know, that's basically the front desk or receptionist on the ship. So I go through this interview. They call me back just a few hours later and said, great, we did great. We want to offer you a job. The pay is $1,300 a month. And for me, living in Miami, I was like, what? Are you freaking crazy? I just couldn't believe how low the money was. So
hey, I'm in Oklahoma, and that's bank.
Yeah, I was like $1,300. Cha-ching.
Yeah, no, I wasn't buying it, but I was like, okay, well, I don't have any of the options. I'll say yes now, and then I'll just furiously apply for other jobs in the meantime, see if I can find something in a week before I go, because I just didn't have any money. I was broke, and I was like, well, I have to take this. I'll do one assignment, one contract for 6 months, and then I'll just, whatever, I'll just find another job.
How old were you at this time?
What's that?
How old were you
I was
when all this started?
23. I was 23 years old. And so I was like, I wasn't gung-ho about it. I felt like, oh, I can't believe I'm leaving. I love I really enjoyed living in Miami. It was like, Miami's a pretty big party town. And so I really enjoyed living in Miami. And so I am told then, hey, you need to go get, do you have a passport? And I said, no, I've never left the country. And then they say, okay, well, you need to go down and get a passport. Well, in order to get a passport, I need to get my birth certificate. I was born in Los Angeles, so my uncle had to go to the local hospital and get one for me and FedEx it to me in Miami. So then I could run down to the passport office, get my passport office. I walk in one day, come back at the end of the day, voila, I got a passport in hand. I was shocked because I was like, I can't believe I just did this in a day.
Damn.
Again,
you got a passport in a day?
Yes, one day. Less than 24 hours, same day turnaround.
Doesn't it take like 3 months normally?
Yeah, if you mail it in, it takes a few months to do it. But hey, maybe I just got lucky. Again, I have to say that I've had a pretty, lucky life where things just kind of work at themselves out. So I just figured, what the hell?
Me too.
So again,
me too. I have always been really lucky for some reason.
Yeah, me too. Idea. I can't complain. I've lived a pretty charmed life. So no complaints here. So again, I was not thrilled or excited with joining the ship. I was just kind of like, I was dreading it. I was going to leave Miami, leave all my friends. I didn't know anybody. I was pretty shy in college. I'm not shy with people that I know well or small groups of people, but meeting new people was always not the best thing for me. I just was kind of shy and quiet. So, so I wasn't excited about going. Most people were thrilled. Hey, I'm going to join. I'm going to live this, and here I am almost dreading it. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
At this
But
time in the 90s, everybody, Royal Caribbean, this particular cruise line, used to get about 13,000 applicants a month. And we have Eric. Okay. All right. I'm 22.
I'll do
$1,300 a
it.
month. Okay.
yeah, fine. So that was my attitude going in. So, during that week, you go in and you get fitted for uniforms and, all that stuff. They tell you what you need to bring. And, luckily I was in Miami, so I could find white shoes. We all had to wear white shoes, but, that wasn't a problem in Miami. You could find them. And they couldn't be sneakers, right? So at least for us, so we
Didn't
had
they
to
have like a
find
uniform shop like on Flagler or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right
This
near
little
that.
nondescript
Yeah,
window door with like nothing on it that said uniform shop.
Yeah.
yeah,
It
exactly.
wasn't even like, hey, buy all your uniform. It was like dirty 1970s looking Windows uniforms.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then you had to go in and get that medical done. That it was basically, are you breathing? Like, okay, you're good.
At the Siemens Center.
Yeah, exactly.
I went there and I had no idea how to take that. I was like, this is the biggest punk sign ever. Is this okay?
Yeah. It was a pretty crazy experience, just how fast it all happened. So I had to tell my roommate I'm moving out. I promised him that I would keep paying rent until he found another roommate, and it was like he wasn't happy with me. He was pissed off. And so, it was just kind of rough going that week, and everything just happened so fast. You get a call on a Sunday and it's like you're on board next Sunday. So here we go, Sunday morning. They, be down at the pier at 7 a.m., which again, for me on a Sunday, 7 a.m. is an ungodly hour.
Because you were drunk?
Right.
Hungover.
Because I was hungover. And you
Because it
just
was
have to
Sunday.
remember, Miami's like an all-night city. The bars, if they close, it might be for an hour between 6 and 7 a.m. So it's like a really late night thing. So for me to be at the pier by 7 a.m. was like, okay, I couldn't really go out the night before since I had it all packed and stuff like that. So I go down, and so I had been hired for the Emerald Seas, which was part of one of the Admiral Cruise Line, another cruise line that Royal Caribbean owned. And so when I got down to the pier, everybody starts telling me you're wearing the wrong uniform. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Like, oh, you're not going to Emerald Seas anymore. You're going to Song of America. And I'm like, well, what happened? What's going on? And they're like, another assistant purser on Song of America was basically the staff captain kicked him off. The staff captain had his children sailing with him. And this assistant purser, which is the most junior rank in the department, decided that he would, get the chef to cook him some pizza and said it was for the staff captain kids. And so the staff captain was furious with him and kicked him off the ship, basically. He didn't get fired, but they kicked him off the ship and sent him to the ship that I was going to go, and they switched me, and I got to go to Song of America. So I didn't know the difference, but my first day I show up and I have all wrong uniforms. So I have to get new uniforms from the ship before I can go out. So this is turnaround day and things are really hectic. People barely have time to really train you, right? Because it's like just a crazy day for everybody on the ship.
Nothing. There is no crazier day than turnaround in Miami.
No, it's just all day go, 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 go. You can barely get a pee break. I mean, it's just like go, go, go. So luckily, my first day was not on the front desk as a receptionist, but I got to help out checking in the non-U.S. passengers. Back then, the non-U.S. passengers were checked in by shipboard staff, and we made sure they had the right visas, that everything was valid, and we would collect the passports on the pier. So after a few, I just basically sat with Allison Rickards, and yes, I know, Brad, Allison. I don't know what happened to her. Yeah, she worked on ships for years. I don't know where she's at today, if she's still on ships or not. But
so hot.
I'm sure she would appreciate that.
I'm sorry. Let's cut that out.
Yeah. No, don't cut it out.
Sexist.
Nope.
That was super sexist of me. I don't mean to object. I don't want to objectify women, but God, she was hot.
Yeah.
She's on as our next guest.
Yeah. I'm sure she would love to do this. I'm sure she could come up with some stories about me.
I hope she's objectifying me when she comes on. That's fair play.
Anyway, so Allison was training me. Like I said, I had never left the U.S. She was English. Very nice. We got along really well. Was just kind of learning the ropes. But we spent the whole afternoon out on the pier checking in people. You get the hang of it.
Is this the English Allison girl with the really curly hair?
No, she didn't have really curly hair.
Oh, no, never mind. That's Michelle. Okay.
Yeah. So, so the day was all right. And I'm thinking, well, this isn't so bad. This is, isn't really challenging. So I'm like, fine. So we go at the end of the day, right before, as we're about to sail, we balance a manifest, which is basically making sure that shoreside and shipboard had the same number of people, that we had the actual right number of people on board. Because there are no shows, there are all sorts of stuff that happens, that somebody shows up in lieu of somebody else. Back then, you could book a cruise on a Sunday if there was space available. So people would try to get a discount and come to the pier that morning. So you would add people that way. So we go back on the ship and we're, balancing the list. And we go into the purser's back office, and in comes a bartender. And and he asked, I was the first one, I was the closest one to him, and he asked me what I wanted to drink. And I'm thinking, well, this is weird. Like, a bartender's asking me. So, I'm at work. So I order a soda. I order like a Coke or something like that. Everybody, there was about 10 people in the room. Everybody just starts laughing and says, no, order a drink. And I'm a bit stunned, because I'm like, wait, I can order alcohol while I'm working? And they're like, yeah, of course you can. And I was like,
yeah, man.
I was floored for about 2 seconds, and then I thought, I might like this job a lot more than I thought I was going to. And that was a beginning of the extension of my college drinking days, if not even worse than what I was doing in college. I mean, that was just the beginning. I will tell you on another date, my second time in Mexico story. Because that was quite a doozy in Mexico. But that's how I joined the ships. And then just to give you a little brief, I remember I said, I'm doing one contract and I'm out of here. This is enough money. I am like, I don't want to do it. So I joined the ship, and it's an adjustment. It was a bit of an adjustment for me, especially because, I was kind of shy. But one contract turned into 2, 3, 4, 5. I ended up sailing 5 years. I looked forward to going back and, being with friends. And it's one of the best experiences of my life. It's really hard work. And the way I'll describe it to everybody, so everybody out there understands, every night is a Friday night. It's so much fun being on ships. But you have to get up, and every morning is a Monday morning. You have to work your ass off and know that you're going to work every single day. But again, best experience of my life. I had a great time.
That's so awesome. I know, everybody, I've got to say, Eric and Brad were pursers on here. I have to say props to the purser department, because if you are listening and you have no idea what they actually do, on turnaround day, there are, 2,500 people getting off, 2,500 people getting on, probably 400 or 500 crew members at any given time. And there's 10 or 12, 13 of you processing all of this, all the visas, all of the shoreside stuff. Man, I'm telling you, that is, whether you're drunk, whether you're not, whether you're sober or whatever, that has got to be the hardest thing in the world, because you have to have all your T's crossed, the I's dotted, and everything. That just amazes me.
Well, there's way less than that. I mean, you've got the purser's desk that's just doing their desk job. But as far as handling the passengers and the crew coming on, there's one or two people doing all of that every day, every turnaround. It's crazy.
Even better. I mean, That always amazes me, like that the pursers, you guys, whether you're crew or passenger pursers or whatever, that you process everybody getting off and control all of that. And then when you go out to the baggage area and look at the complete chaos out there and not realize that, as chaotic as it is, it's an organized chaos to some point, but it's just,
well, you get it down to a science, right? Week in, week out. It's a little bit easier if you're doing 7-day cruising because you have the same thing every turnaround. And when we first joined, I think most of the cruises were that way because most of it was Caribbean. So it's a lot easier to handle than if you're repositioning and moving and you're going to countries you've never been before. That's really, really, really challenging. But, we have so many stories, that about, and especially in the purses department, I will tell you a few, and I mean, not today, but we'll get to some of my favorite purser stories, just like really short ones, with some challenging passengers and, what may or may not have happened to their luggage.
That is going to be an exciting conversation at that time.
You and you bags.
Yeah. What do you mean your bag's missing? That was actually really tough at the front desk as an assistant purser to deal with lost luggage. And it usually happened because
terrible.
99% of the time the airline lost the luggage and it didn't make it to the ship. And that was really, really hard to deal with for the guests and for us because these poor guests have saved for a lifetime and they're in tears at the front desk. And, those are the people you really felt for and you tried to help. The people that were yelling and screaming at you, even though it had nothing to do with us. I mean, those are the people that you were just like, what do you want from me? How do you expect me to find your luggage?
Man, that's awesome. That's going to be a great story when we get into all that stuff. But, well, everybody, that is Eric's story on how he became to work on cruise ships. So we've got Brad's and Eric's. I'll be here sooner or later, but I hope you guys enjoyed Eric's story. Look forward to more. Be sure to follow us, like us, spread, share everything. So I'd like to thank you guys for listening to the podcast.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.
Good job. See you later.